Today, we're going to talk about one of the great seven wonders of the ancient world, the legendary statue of Zeus at Olympia. Now, this wasn't just a sculpture. It was an incredible piece of engineering created by the master Phidias. And really, it was an attempt to give divinity a physical form, to bring a god down to earth. To really get it, you have to imagine what it must have been like to stand right in front of it.
So picture this. You walk into the great Temple of Zeus, way back in the 5th century BCE. The air is probably thick with incense. And then you see him. This immense, seated figure that almost feels like it's alive, radiating this incredible presence. All the ancient accounts tell us the same thing. To see it was to feel like Zeus himself was right there in the room with you.
And the sheer scale of it was just breathtaking. It was nearly 12 meters, or about 40 feet tall. It literally filled the entire height of the temple, right from the floor up to the ceiling. People used to say that if Zeus decided to stand up, he would have just blown the roof right off the temple built in his honor.
The true marvel here wasn't just the scale, it was the incredible technique Phidias used. It was known as the chryselephantine method, and it was a process that was as much an engineering puzzle as it was an artistic one. The whole point was to make the statue itself appear divine.
The secret is right there in the name. It comes from two Greek words, chrysos, which means gold, and elephantinos, for ivory. So you see, this wasn't a statue carved from a single block of marble. Oh no, it was way more complex. It was a careful assembly of these incredibly precious materials, all layered over a hidden wooden framework.
And the process itself was just painstaking. First, they had to build this massive internal wooden frame to create the god's basic shape. Then came the really tricky part, affixing carefully carved ivory plates to create the skin. And finally, brilliant sheets of hammered gold were laid over that structure to form the divine robes and all the ornaments. But the choice of ivory and gold, that was no accident. Each material carried a really profound symbolic meaning.
Let's start with the skin of Zeus. I mean, think about it. If you're going to represent the flesh of a perfect immortal being, you need a material that's both lifelike and completely otherworldly at the same time. For Phidias, the choice was obvious.
He chose ivory. Huge plates of it, all painstakingly carved and then fitted together almost like a divine jigsaw puzzle. And this formed the face, the torso, the arms, and the feet of the king of all the gods.
So why ivory? Well, its smooth, glowing quality could mimic the texture of skin in a way that cold stone never could. But it also carried this powerful symbolism. Its pale color represented the purity and perfection of a divine form, completely free from any earthly blemish. It was flesh, but, well, it was flawless.
Okay, so you've got the flawless skin of a god. Now what do you clothe him in? To get across that sense of ultimate power and majesty, Phidias turned to that second key material.
For the god's robes, for his sandals, and for that incredibly ornate throne he sat on, Phidias used sheets of pure gold. And again, this wasn't just decoration. Every single gleaming surface was designed to communicate the very nature of Zeus himself.
I mean, gold has always been a symbol of authority, right? Totally fitting for the king of the gods. And, crucially, gold never tarnishes. It doesn't corrode. So it was the perfect way to represent the eternal, unchanging nature of an immortal being. And of course, it was a staggering display of wealth, befitting a deity worshipped all across the Greek world.
The symbolism just kept going with the object Zeus held. In his right hand, he held a smaller statue, also made of gold and ivory, of Nike, the goddess of victory. The message was clear: victory itself answers to Zeus. And in his left hand, he held a tall scepter, topped with his sacred animal, the eagle, reinforcing his complete dominion over both heaven and earth.
For nearly 1,000 years, this statue stood as a testament to Greek faith and artistry. It drew visitors from all across the Mediterranean. But like all wonders of the ancient world, its time was limited.
It was created around 435 BCE, and for centuries it was a centerpiece of religious life. But sometime around the 5th century CE, it was gone. It was likely moved from the temple and then destroyed in a fire. Some think it was just dismantled as Christianity rose. The truth is, we don't know for sure. Not a single trace of it has ever been found.
And yet, its legacy survived. It lives on through the writings of those who were lucky enough to see it. And they all describe how its amazing combination of artistic perfection, engineering skill, and that deep symbolic meaning, well, it made it so much more than just a work of art. It was truly a wonder, something that captured the entire spirit of an age.
And, that really leaves us with a final thought. The statue itself is gone. It's nothing more than descriptions in ancient texts. And yet, here we are, thousands of years later, still talking about it, still in awe of its memory. It just makes you wonder, if a physical object this incredible can vanish without a trace, what is it that truly makes a legacy eternal? Is it the thing itself, or is it the idea it represents?